Most gardeners unknowingly rebuild the same container every spring, buying new flowers, replacing dead plants, and starting from scratch all over again. Meanwhile, experienced gardeners plant one beautiful combination once, then watch it grow fuller, richer, and more spectacular every single year. Some containers actually look better in year 3 than they ever did on planting day, and once you see combination number 6, you will understand exactly why so many gardeners never go back to annuals. Today, you are going to discover 6 perennial container combinations that improve every single year instead of starting over from nothing each spring. Lower maintenance, more flowers, more color, and containers that genuinely look professionally designed without a professional price tag. Here's why this matters right now. Flower prices climb every season, summer heat keeps getting harder on tender annuals, and most gardeners are quietly exhausted from replanting the exact same containers every single spring. Experienced gardeners have been quietly shifting toward perennial containers for a simple reason. Plant it once, and it rewards you for years. Let's start with number 1. 1. The Cottage Garden Container. This combination pairs lavender, salvia, and creeping thyme, and it thrives in USDA zones 5 through 9. Use a container at least 16 inches wide with solid drainage, since these 3 plants absolutely hate sitting in wet soil. Full sun is non-negotiable here, at least 6 hours a day, and once established, this trio wants to be on the drier side rather than the wet side. Space the lavender and salvia with real room between them, roughly 10 to 12 inches apart, and let the creeping thyme spill along the edges and fill in the gaps at soil level. This is where many gardeners accidentally crowd their plants, packing everything in tight to make the container look full on day 1. Resist that urge. These 3 plants are going to expand. In year 1, expect a modest, slightly sparse look. The lavender and salvia are still establishing root systems, and the thyme is just beginning to creep. That is completely intentional, not a sign anything went wrong. By year 2, the salvia has bulked up considerably, the lavender has developed real woody structure, and the thyme has started spimming generously over the container's edge. By year 3, the whole container knits together into a soft, silvery, fragrant mass that draws bees from across the yard and barely resembles what you planted originally. The most common mistake is overwatering, since gardeners used to thirsty annuals instinctively water on the same schedule. Cut back significantly once these are established. For winter, in colder zones, move the container somewhere sheltered or insulate the pot itself, since it is the roots freezing in a small volume of soil, not the cold air, that actually kills these plants over winter. But the next combination solves a completely different problem, because not every garden gets 6 hours of sun. 2. The Shade Beauty Container. This one pairs hosta, coral gells, and Japanese forest grass, built specifically for gardeners dealing with shade rather than fighting against it. This combination thrives in USDA zones 4 through 9 in a container at least 18 inches wide, since hostas develop a real root system over time. Give this one partial to full shade and keep the soil consistently moist without letting it become waterlogged. What makes this trio special is the contrast. Hosta brings broad, bold foliage. Coral bells bring smaller, riffled leaves and shades ranging from deep purple to lime green, depending on variety. Japanese forest grass brings a soft, cascading, almost weeping texture that flows over the container's edge. None of them compete for the same visual space, so instead of blending together, they highlight each other. In year 1, each plant establishes its own space, and the container looks tidy but distinct. By year 2, the hosta has bulked up considerably, and the forest grass has begun its signature cascading spill. By year 3, this container becomes a genuine textural showpiece, especially in early autumn when the forest grass turns a warm golden color that plays beautifully against the coral bell's deeper tones. Shade gardeners often assume their options are limited to hostas alone and nothing else. This combination proves that shade can be just as dynamic and layered as full sun, sometimes more so, because the foliage contrast does the work that flowers usually do in sunnier containers. This is where many gardeners make an expensive mistake, and it happens most often with the next combination.
3. The butterfly magnet container. This combination pairs coneflower, catmint, and coreopsis, and it is built entirely around pollinator activity. It thrives in USDA zones 4 through 9, wants a container at least 18 inches wide, and needs full sun along with well-draining soil. These three are genuinely tough and forgiving once established. The expensive mistake is buying only 1 or 2 of these plants expecting a full pollinator effect immediately. Butterflies and bees are drawn to volume and repetition, not a single isolated bloom. Space 3 to 5 plants total across the container, mixing all 3 species together rather than grouping them in separate clumps, so the color and scent draw pollinators in from a distance. The bloom sequence here is genuinely clever. Catmint tends to bloom earliest and longest. Coreopsis picks up through midsummer with its bright, cheerful yellow, and coneflower carries the display into late summer and early fall with its bold purple-pink blooms. The result is a container with color moving through it in waves rather than one single burst that fades. In year 1, expect moderate blooming as roots establish. By year 2, all 3 plants have filled out considerably, and the pollinator traffic noticeably increases. By year 3, this container becomes a genuine wildlife destination, buzzing with activity most of the growing season. Deadhead spent blooms periodically to extend flowering and resist the urge to cut everything back too early in fall, since seed heads provide food for birds through winter. Don't overlook one tiny planting detail here. Catmint especially benefits from being planted slightly proud of the soil line, not sunk in, or it can develop crown rot in a container that holds moisture longer than open ground. 4. The elegant 4-season container. This combination pairs dwarf hydrangea, coral bells, and evergreen sedge, and it is built to look genuinely good in every single season, not just summer. It thrives in USDA zones 5 through 9, wants a container at least 18 inches wide, and prefers partial sun, ideally morning sun with afternoon shade in hotter climates. The dwarf hydrangea provides structure and the season's biggest blooms. The coral bells fill the middle layer with rich, colorful foliage that holds its color from spring through fall. The evergreen sedge stays green through winter, which is the detail that makes this combination genuinely 4-season rather than just 3. In year 1, the hydrangea is still establishing, and blooms will be modest. By year 2, the hydrangea produces significantly more flowers, and the coral bells have filled in around its base. By year 3, this container has real structural presence, with the hydrangea's woody framework visible even in winter, alongside the evergreen sedge holding color when almost everything else in the garden has gone dormant. This combination is best suited for gardeners who want a container that never looks completely empty, even in the coldest months. Fertilize lightly in early spring as growth resumes, and in colder zones, insulate the container itself in winter, since the hydrangea's roots are more cold-sensitive than the sedge or coral bells. 5. The drought-proof container. This combination pairs sedum autumn joy, blue fescue, and hardy ice plant, and it is built for gardeners who travel, forget to water, or simply want one less thing to worry about all summer. It thrives in USDA zones 4 through 9, wants a container at least 18 inches wide with excellent drainage, and needs full sun. This is genuinely one of the most forgiving combinations on this list. All three plants store water in their leaves or roots and actively prefer being on the drier side. Overwatering is the only real threat here, not underwatering. Space them with enough room to expand, since sedum and ice plant both spread into satisfying clumps over time. In year 1, expect a relatively low, compact look. By year 2, the sedum has bulked up significantly, and the ice plant has begun spreading and blooming with its bright, almost neon flowers. By year 3, this container becomes a dense, textured mat that shrugs off entire weeks of neglect during peak summer heat without any visible stress. This is the combination I recommend most often to anyone who has ever gone on vacation and come home to a container full of dead annuals. It simply does not have that problem. But if you think this combination looks impressive, wait until you see the final container. Number 6 has become one of my favorite long-term combinations for a reason, and it is where everything in this video comes together. 6. The long-blooming color explosion. This final combination pairs daylily, Russian sage, and creeping jenny, and it consistently delivers the longest season of color and the most dramatic visual payoff on this entire list. It thrives in USDA zones 4 through 9, wants a container at least 18 inches wide, full sun, and moderate watering that tapers off once established. Here is what makes this combination the grand reveal. Daylilies bring bold, saturated color and a strong, upright form. Russian sage adds airy, silvery blue texture and a long, gently swaying presence that softens the daylily's boldness. Creeping jenny spills over the container's edge in vivid chartreuse, creating a cascading effect that makes the whole arrangement feel finished from the very first season, not just eventually. In year 1, this container already looks more complete than most of the others on this list, simply because creeping jenny establishes and spills quickly. By year 2, the daylilies have multiplied their blooming stems considerably, and the Russian sage has developed real height and presence. By year 3, this container reaches its full dramatic potential, with layered height, cascading texture, and a genuinely professional landscape look that most people assume came from a paid designer. This combination delivers the longest bloom window of anything on this list, since daylilies re-bloom in flushes through summer, and Russian sage carries color well into fall. The visual payoff, the texture, and the sheer length of the display are exactly why so many gardeners who plant this combination stop buying annuals entirely the following spring. Beautiful gardens do not always require replanting every spring. Sometimes the smartest gardening decision you can make is choosing combinations that reward your patience year after year instead of starting from zero every single time. If you could plant just one of these containers this weekend, which one would you choose? Let me know in the comments below. And one more thing before you go. What USDA growing zone are you gardening in this year? And have you ever kept the same container for more than 2 years, watching it actually improve instead of fading out? I want to know which of these combinations would fit your own garden best. If you enjoyed this video, you will love the next one, where I share even more low-maintenance container ideas that deliver beautiful results year after year. Click that video now, and I will see you there.